Hello, everybody. Listening to the Fair Weather Podcast. Your boy 2K Suave. I'm here with Mr. Alex Rodriguez, and we are joined by a special guest. He was on maybe season 1 or 2. I don't know. It's been a while. We got Mr. Jamaal. How you doing, sir?
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on? Glad to be back.
What brings you on the show today? What's on your mind?
Man, I feel like it's a lot going on in the sports universe, you know? We had a pretty wild draft and then the NBA on and off the court, you know?
Both. And we're going to touch on all of that. So, all right. So what we do now, Mr. Jamaal, we try to do what's the craziest or the wackiest or like the funniest thing you've seen in the sports world in the last week. Just something that's you saw or watched or laughed at. What do you think?
Oh man, it's a tough one. The funniest. I don't know about the funniest. I don't want to go with the go-to story.
Or the craziest?
I mean,
they all kind of apply to the go-to story.
You're right.
I got one really quick. Like we were talking about the draft lottery, and I said, how crazy would it be if the Spurs got the number one pick? Because as history perceives it, the Spurs do well with the big man when they have the first pick overall. And I think since they've had the first pick overall, they've taken a big man. And Pop works wonders with big men. So I called that shit. I nailed it on the nail on the head. I called
that too, actually. Let's can we get a we? We called it.
It's a collaborative. We both called it. We said that's gonna happen.
All right.
And yeah, that was mine for the week.
But even watching the draft last night, you was confident.
I was confident.
I was confident. I was pretty
go
confident.
check the tweet history. I was confident.
Heard that.
All right, here's mine. Because we were talking about this before the show, and I was like, it was funny when the lottery happened, and I see Detroit get called at 5. Did you know Detroit had a 52% chance to get one of the top 4 picks, and they got the 5th pick after having like the best odds to get the first pick? Like, that shit is crazy. Somebody did something wrong in Detroit. I don't know if Ben Wallace being there was a bad idea. I don't know what happened, but that was some crazy shit, man. I actually felt for Detroit on that one because I'm like, y'all take for literally no reason. So I found that to be a little funny and a little crazy at the same time. But you know, it's crazy. I feel bad for Detroit though.
I do too, bro, because I thought at least they get top 3, like no question, right? So it's like, and the thing is, it feels like it's gonna be like that another 5-6 years. They like the magic, man. It's just
a lot of young players.
Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully, you never know.
The Magic have been stockpiling assets forever, man. Like they have like legit lottery pick after lottery pick, and it's like we got one lottery pick. Okay, we're gonna bury him on the depth chart behind this guy, and it's just like all those type of guys. The only clear-cut guy in my mind that they have on that team is Banchero. Everybody else is like
a facility. Markelle Fultz, man, he's starting to look like a lottery pick now. He's starting to look like a lottery pick now.
When healthy.
Last year he was pretty healthy. Look, I'm telling you, Orlando, they're a vet. You know how I'm always my veterans. They're a veteran away from being a playoff team.
I agree 100%. But it's just like
Brad VanVleet.
You got 3 solid point guards. You got like 3 solid small forwards. You got like 2 good power forwards. You got 1 good center, maybe 2. Like
they just need a lot
of depth, but no grown man to tell these guys where to go. So
and you know what happens when you don't have a grown up. You know, you got UD in Miami, and you know there's a lot of shit that can happen in Miami, and UD holds it down for them. You got like DeAndre Jordan with the Nuggets. And I mean, it's obviously paying off. I mean, they don't need him to play 30 minutes a night. They just need him to be a voice in the locker room. You got old ass LeBron in Los Angeles, obviously, still doing what he's doing. And Darvin Ham's like a young coach too, but like a former basketball player. So he's kind of like an old head in a sense. And then Boston got Al Horford over there, like old man still doing it. I mean, we have PJ Tucker.
Big Al.
Yeah, oh God, Big Al, he's been driving me crazy. I know you University of Florida people are going to be happy about Al Horford. I used to like Al Horford, but he plays for the enemy, so I can't really rock with Boston right now.
Oh, you a diehard Lakers fan?
No, I'm a Sixers fan.
Oh, word. Yeah, you are a Sixers fan. Oh.
He's a Sixers fan.
Yeah, you saw what just happened.
We rocking Cancun today. So
yeah, so if y'all not watching and y'all listening, me and A-Rod like to do our little wallpapers in the back. And we're both in 1, 2, 3 Cancun because the Knicks and the Sixers just kind of fizzled out. But we'll get to that. What I was getting to with having all the heads on the team, what have we been talking about A-Rod all year with Memphis?
They have no leader. Their veteran leader is 28 years old, but he looks damn near 40. So
yeah, like they got no grown-ups in the locker room. And when they try to get grown-ups, they try to get Iguodala. They didn't want him there. He didn't want to be there. They got Danny Green for a second. They traded him right away. Like, they refused to bring like a grown-up into that locker room. And now we see what's going on with Ja Morant. We thought we were done talking about this a couple months ago. We're like, we're all right, cool, we're settled. The playoffs happened. They got bounced. Dylan Brooks became a story. Like, Ja Morant was in the clear. And then once again, IG Live got caught in 4K. I mean, it was really like 1K because you could barely see. You could barely see what he was doing at first. I didn't understand what people were mad about. I'm like, what did he do? And then I actually had to slow it down, and then they paused it or whatever. And I see him once again just toting weapons on camera and all that stuff. So obviously it's a bad look for him. His name is back in the news for all the wrong reasons. I mean, he just did his press conference for his exit interview after they lost to the Lakers, saying, I need to become more mature on and off the court and all that stuff. So for him to be in this situation again, I'm gonna give you the floor, Jamaal. What's your take on everything? Like, what was your take when it was happening a couple months ago, and then where are you at right now with the whole situation?
So when he had first got into it in Colorado the first time, like everybody else, it was definitely surprised, right? Like, it's kind of random. Just Monday morning, you see the video, or it happened on Sunday. But even then, it just, to me, it was like, it's a wild, wacky situation, but he's 23. He clearly was drunk or under some type of influence, right? 3 a.m., you showing off the strap on IG Live. So I just kind of took it for like, hey man, he's 23 and it was crazy, but this is what he needed, because all the other stuff that had led up, all of it was allegations, it got investigated, and it didn't come to any charges being pressed. I definitely knew at least I thought I knew, that situation was the turning point. Like, we ain't gonna have to worry about nothing no more. I mean, dag, we ain't even make it to July, bro. Like, I would say this one is kind of worse off the strength of the first one. Like I said, I felt like he was out of it. Like, he wasn't sober, or in general, like, he just really didn't. He knew what he was doing, but he wasn't really conscious. This one was like, bro, you in somebody's car, you see them with the phone out. It ain't like you had it and he just happened to pull it up. You dancing with it again. This one is like, all right, you don't want to be in the league. I'm not judging them. Like, everybody got their own path. Everybody has their own journey. But brother, you cannot tell me within not even a full 2 months since you came back on the court, you already are putting yourself in the position. Even if we never seen that, I think it's just disappointing to see that he's even still putting himself in that type of situation,
Yeah. Hey, Rod.
I mean, I'm all over the place with this, man, because I think when we talked about it last time, I was like, everybody, gets a second chance with me. But like, I've been paying attention to it, like his demeanor and the way he is, and it's like, I don't feel anything was sincere. Like, you're gonna make a public announcement about it, saying, I need to get better. You need to get better, but like Jamaal just said, like, we didn't even make it to July yet, bro. Like, it hasn't even been 2 months. Like, what are we really doing here? And I know he's 23 years old. We can make that, assumption he's young, but like these guys go through a program when they first come in the NBA where they teach them about like what you're gonna fall into. There's girls at every hotel. You're gonna be having your boys trying to like take your money from you. You're gonna have these type of people trying to come. They get this little, tutelage in the beginning in the rookie camp and all that stuff. I get that it's minor, I'm not looking at that, but like we're grooming this guy to be the face of the NBA. Okay, we've been saying this for so long. His game, his athleticism, it's exciting. It's like Allen Iverson 2.0 all over again. And the best type of mentor that he would need in my mind would be Allen Iverson to reach out and be like, listen, man, when I was your age, everyone was coming at me. I didn't have social media like I have now, but everybody perceived me to be a thug. But I came from this background and this is what I had to endure. This is how I got through it. And I'm a loved person now. I'm one of the most loved NBA players of all time because what I did for the culture, what I did for the fans, how I kind of integrated just, white America watching the NBA and presuming, oh my God, a guy with tattoos and cornrows and hip hop, he's a thug. No, he's not. He's a normal dude that looks like how you think he is, but he can ball and he's really good. He's detrimental to the NBA and to his team. So like that narrative for the longest has been kind of gone. Now you got this kid out here who's 23 years old. And this is the funniest thing to me that makes me laugh the most. Nike drops Kyrie Irving for the stuff he made about the Jewish community. Right. Then you sign Ja Morant to be the new big thing. We're not even on shoe number 2. We're on shoe number 1, and it's only been out like 2 months too as well. 2 months, and Nike's right now like, God, fuck, this motherfucker did it to us. So like, it's the wise choices that you make as a man. And we can call him a boy. We can call him a kid. We can call him 23. He can vote. He can buy liquor. He's a man at this point. He can drive. He can't
rent cars everywhere though. Without that underage fee.
That sucks to suck. But at the end of the day, he's a grown man. He knows the stuff that he's doing. And if you come out and publicly say, I need to get help, this does not look like you're getting help. This looks like the video they showed before. He was on the car dancing with bottles and stuff like that, having a good time. Wasn't showing the ratchet, nothing like that. But even his homeboy knew it was up. As soon as he pulled it out, he tried to hide that phone. Yeah. But you were on live, bro. That shit's going to be there. There's some idiot up looking at that's still framing that. And the idiot is me, who turns it into a mixtape cover and calls it John Wick 2, the offseason. So, like, what are we crazy? What are we doing here, man? Like, all in all, I'm done giving out free passes to him. I'm the kind of person that's, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it ain't a hippopotamus to me. So like, you need to set a good example, because me and you come on here, KK, all the time, and we say, this isn't him. This isn't the type of person he is. He's so like about the fans. He's all about giving back. But then you go and do stupid, ignorant shit like this. And it's like, I don't want to be the one to say that that's who he is, but that's what he wants to get caught up with. Know the people you surround yourself with, be a better man, and talk to the right people to get help. Whether it's like a therapist, whether it's a doctor, whether it's LeBron James to get you mentally right, like talk to the right people, because you ain't doing it, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I just can't rock with him right now. Like, it's not a good look for me to look at Ja like that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of the problem that I have, if I have anything, because like, first of all, like obviously he made a mistake the first time. Second time he made a choice, in my opinion. I'm like, all right, look, you were dumb and cool in the first time. You get it. You almost had it ripped away from you. You lost out on some money. You're not going to make the NBA first team, second team, or third team. So that's another $40 million.
That's big. That's huge.
And it's crazy. I mean, like, he's somebody you expect to see on any All NBA team, 1, 2, or 3. And to go to Adam Silver and tell him, you're sorry. Like, he was in his office. It wasn't like it was a conference call. It wasn't a Zoom, a Teams call. He was in his office and looked at him as a man face to face. That I'm gonna get better. And like you said, like, it's not even July. It's not even June. Like, we haven't even gotten to the NBA Finals yet, and he's already back in the news for the wrong reasons. Like, think about it. We're talking about Ja Morant when Jokic just went crazy yesterday. and that's the problem. Negative news will sell. And the problem that Ja Morant made for himself is that just type his name in. Yahoo Sports, ESPN, Fox News, MSNBC, CNN. Like, you are now on everybody's radar. And now you know how he is as an athlete. They build you up and they can't wait to tear you back down. Like, it's just what this cycle that always goes. Like, everyone's always looking for something. So now it's IG Live. Next is going to be TMZ, and you know TMZ catches everything. So he needs to. I don't know what's going to happen. I think he needs to, like, just take a step back, away from basketball, away from all of this. He needs to go. That little fake counseling he did back in February, March, whatever, to get back into the league. He didn't do no counseling. You don't do counseling in 5 days and then you're back. He needs to like literally, like Aaron Rodgers, we give Aaron Rodgers a lot of crap. One thing about Aaron Rodgers, he comes into the season with a clear head because he does what he has to do. If it's ayahuasca, if it's Cancun, if it's something, you need to just get away from this whole mess right now. You need to pick better friends. I know people want to be loyal and all that stuff, but look, if they're not going to be a reason why you advancing, that means they're holding you back. So you need to keep it back there. Like, at the end of the day, it's not like, LeBron got a lot of his friends to make it to where they got to, but he didn't bring all his friends along with him. He brought the ones that were dedicated. That's who he got with him. So, and then also, Ja Morant has a daughter, and that's the other thing that makes me angry about this, is that he has a daughter, and you don't want your father to be known as this villain in sports. Because I still call me a sucker or soft or whatever. I still want to like Ja Morant. Like, nothing. I still, because, like, remember how big I was on him.
I really do too.
You know how big I am on him. Like, when he was coming into the NBA, I'm like, I really love this kid's game. I love his attitude. I love what he brought. And I don't want this to be something that keeps ripping at him because I still think he has a chance. But he just, he's 23, like we all said. Like, he's got time. Like, if I was on IG Live at 23, I'm sure I did a lot of things that if I was making $40 million a year, I'd probably be doing the same. Not that specifically, but they would have caught me doing something stupid. So I think now maybe he has finally kind of hit rock bottom because Adam Silver sounded like he was about to cry when he was talking about it yesterday. So, and Adam Silver is a real nice dude, but he's going to have to get David Stern on this one.
That's like betrayal, man. That's like betrayal to him. And I retract my statement saying, like, Allen Iverson should be the guy to mentor him. Yo, his dad wants to show up to those games. His dad wants to be, like, all vocal and stuff during those games. But we said it before. He seems more like a homeboy instead of his dad, man. Step up, be a dad here, man. Like,
yeah,
that shit bothers me a lot too, man. Like, your son's, like, doing this crazy shit, and you advocate that he's this good kid.
What you think, Mo? Any rebuttal? Anything to add to that?
Nah, definitely no rebuttals. Agree on everything y'all saying about it. I don't know, man. I just think talent doesn't cure insecurity, and I think it's clear that there's some insecurity when you feel the need to show people, I got this. Like, it's like you're not even really just being seen on social media with it, holding it, like you're flashing it. So to me, that screams insecurity. So, I mean, of course, the dad should step in and redirect him. But to be honest, his dad might be immature as well. You get what I'm saying?
I agree.
Even if his dad do give him wisdom, it's like you don't know what that relationship's like where he's second guessing him. And then my whole thing is, this is huge, not just with Ja, but with even when we were younger, right? Like mid 2000s, mid 2010s, even now. Bro, the music influences whatever. Whether it's females throwing it back a certain way, whether it's guys wanting to flex on social media, what they driving or how much money they got. And now you see it with the straps, like these teenagers, these young, these 20-year-olds, bro, like whether it's Ja or somebody from the inner city, like they like to show on social media that, this is what I got and this is how tough I look. So for me, I think it's a balance of he's
100%.
insecure and trying to find a connection with community. But I think a part of it, bro, like he's making over $90 million his first couple years in the league. He feels on top of the world. He probably just connected with some people that is doing that or does what we've been seeing, keep guns. And I don't know, man. I just think it's not that I don't think he cares, but I think he doesn't care, if that makes sense. Like, he cares about getting caught. He cares about playing ball, but he also just don't care because, bro, there ain't no excuse, bro. Yeah. There ain't no excuse. Like, you're going out your way to get caught. Like, you're tripping. You're tripping.
And it's not even about the
money he'll lose. It's not about the money he'll lose. It's not even about him being the face of the league. None of us as human beings should just be on social media dancing with guns, bro.
Amen. Like, seriously. And what I tell you, A-Rod, since the beginning, who do I blame for all of this? NBA Youngboy. I blame NBA Youngboy for all of this. Like, I swear, like, the kids 25 and under look at him as if he's Tupac. Like, he is their, like, they worship him. And, like, that's what we're literally seeing it in just, I mean, you see it, take basketball out of the equation. You're seeing it in the neighborhoods, in the streets. Like, people are just reckless. Like, musicians are getting gunned down all the time. People are getting gunned down all the time. So obviously this is not a politics show, but just the whole gun thing has like completely like lost, like everything's lost right now. Whether it's in the hood or in middle America,
everywhere.
Everybody's got it. Like, it's become like a crazy thing. Like, other countries are looking at us like, yo, what y'all got going on? like what's going on? So yeah, we gotta do better. Ja got to do better. I don't want to spend too much time on Ja because there's real basketball being played.
I could go all day on this shit, man. But
so we just gonna transition to it. Jamaal, did you watch the game last night?
100%.
Give me your, all right. Just give me your first. Give me 3 words to describe last night.
The 3 words, that's kind of tough. But
say what you got to say about the game.
Yeah. Give me 1 word then.
Okay. Burnt out.
Burnt out. Okay.
Burnt out.
All right. Now get into it.
All right. So for me, right, the Lakers to make that run at the end, it's 2 ways you could look at it, right? I talked to some people earlier and it was like, man, you let LeBron and them sneak back in, they almost won. They definitely going to take game 2, but if not, they're going to take the series. I think the total opposite. I think the Nuggets put so much gas in the first 3 quarters that's why the Lakers was able to jump back in. But in reality, brother, I don't see LeBron and AD's body this time of the year being able to keep up with them if they putting up a plus $130 every night. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that the Nuggets floored the game the first 40 minutes, and I just think when the Lakers hit that 9-0 run in the 4th quarter, they was burnt out, right? And they just held on. But I think this is, and I'm rooting for the Lakers. I really think this is going to be a tough series for them because even the formula to why they won that championship in the bubble, it was defense. Why they beat the Grizzlies and the Warriors the way they did. We'll let Steph get off, but everybody else is getting limited. Clay 3 for 19 on the closeout game last Saturday, right? So if you're going to let Jokic get off like that, Michael Porter get in the groove, don't let Jamaal start turning up, like, I don't know, man. I think the Lakers, man, do they even force this to 6 is my question.
Yo, all right. Listen, I'm gonna have to just say it. I'm just gonna have to just come at this right now. First of all, you were talking about people can see it both ways that I run. I see it the other way. Like, they figure something out. They're like they've look Anthony. Like we talk Jokic, I cannot stress this enough. You know that meme, whatever, with Shaq. Like I didn't know. I respect the game. I didn't know you had that in you, kind of thing. I've been watching basketball for a long time. This dude Jokic is, and I use this word very, very. I don't like to use this word, but he's generational. Like what he's able to do. I mean, like I'm a Philadelphia 76er fan, and I see my lenses from the Joel Embiid lens, and I'm always going to just give Nikola Jokic a hard time because I feel that Joel Embiid was robbed. I look at Jokic, and he just looks so awkward, and he just doesn't. It doesn't look right? But when you're forced to actually watch him play, and you see what he does, that dude is a hell of a basketball player. Like, I mean, if you told this stat line was 34 points, 14 assists, 21 rebounds, 3 for 3 from the 3-point line, 7 for 8 from the free throw line. Like, and he's a center. He's a center on top of everything. Like, this is the stuff I used to open up the history books and damn, Wilt Chamberlain did what? This dude is I think he has like 6 triple doubles in these playoffs. Like, he's not a point guard, right? He's not an athletic LeBron or Jason Kidd or Magic Johnson. The dude is Arvydas Sabonis with a little bit more speed to him, but he don't get up off the ground. Like he's amazing, right? But not to be completely dominated. Anthony Davis had 40 points, 10 rebounds, 11 for 11 from the free throw line, 1 for 1 from 3. So he had himself a game too, 2 blocks, 3 steals. So I think Anthony Davis is going to be able to continue to do this in this series. You look back at the bubble 2020, AD did this. AD and Jokic were doing the same thing, but AD didn't tire out as quickly as Jokic did. And I think AD, we think he's old because he's always getting hurt. He's only 29, 30 years old, right? So, like, he's not an old man. Like, he's fine. He's just, he just has a lot of bad luck, and he probably don't stretch enough. Like, or he wears low top shoes, which, I know that's definitely part of it. I know A-Rod knows that. So I think they figured something out. I don't think Jamal Murray's going to be able to do that all game long, every single game. Like, yeah, he had a good game. But I feel like the others. So I look at Michael Porter Jr. He had 15. Aaron Gordon had 12. If they hold both of those two to like those same kind of stats, Jokic and Jamal Murray are not going to be able to do this forever. Like, I mean, maybe they will, but I just don't see it. The Lakers have like the #1 defensive rating in the playoffs this year. So you saw what Clay and Steph did in that series, right? They started off hot too, but then they figured out everything. And then Game 6, Clay never showed up. Steph Curry went 3 from 19 from 3 for 18 from 3 or something like that. Like, yeah, it's one game. It looks shocking. Jokic looks like the greatest basketball player ever. But from watching LeBron for the last 20 years, Game 1 is always his feel-out game. I've seen him lose so many Game 1s that it doesn't even bother me anymore. I'm like, oh, okay, because like he's just trying to feel the whole situation out. In the bubble, to that championship run, they lost every single Game 1 until they got to the finals. And then they won all of them in 5. So to me, I look at this as a positive for them that, all right, they got punched in the mouth. You saw D'Angelo Russell after the game still taking shots. Austin Reeves has been very steady this whole playoff. So the moment's not going to be too big for them. So I feel like they're fine. I feel like they're fine. Like, I don't feel concerned at all as a LeBron apologist. But go ahead, Mr. A-Rod, what you think?
You took the words out of my. You said 3 words to describe it: feel out game. That's what I felt like it was going to be for LeBron and the Lakers. But yeah, the Nuggets do scare me. I've been saying all along, and
you have.
KK and I've been debating this. KK's like, they're not that real. They're not that, bro. I'm like, Jokic is like the most lethargic, boring, gross basketball player I've ever seen. Watching him run down the court like a bear, and him drilling that 3 at half in front of AD's face. Like, come on, man. Like,
when you got it going,
like you said, these guys aren't supposed. That's like watching Ardidavis Sabonis do that, but Ardidavis could not shoot threes like that, and he wasn't like the man is in the right place at the right time, and he's grabbing boards and he's dishing out and he's making the shots when he needs to make them, and when he's pulling up for three, I'm comfortable with watching that three happen from a big man. Like I'm not at any point in my mind like panicking. Like when I would see Julius Randle shoot a three, I'm like, we're doing that. When I see Obi Toppin's dumbass in the corner, letting him fly 11 times and making four, I'm screaming internally. But when I watch European big men shoot threes, I'm like, they know what they're doing because they know when to shoot threes. They're not like, oh, panic moment. It's a three. This is NBA fucking 2K right here. No, fuck that shit. They're smart, but the way they play basketball, the Nuggets, and they play great. And I feel like the X factor, we've been looking at it wrong. We've been saying Gordon needs to show up. We've been saying Michael Porter needs to show up. Those guys are going to show up. KCP, bro, that dude.
Yeah.
If LeBron could kick his own self in the nuts, I feel like that's the guy you should have never let go. Because KCP, oh my God. I've always liked him since he came out of college. I was like, it's unfortunate he has to go to Detroit. And when he went to the Lakers and he got paired with LeBron, I was like, this is good for him. This is going to be good. And he matured as a player. I saw him grow as opposed to being like, I always thought him and Brandon Jennings looked very similar and their game was very similar. I was like, damn, I can't tell who's on the court sometimes.
You remember like, KCP had an ankle bracelet?
Yeah,
he had to play with the ankle bracelet. He was on house arrest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely matured. Do you know that, Jamal?
Nah.
He was like on house arrest, so he was allowed to play home games because that's his work. So at his job playing NBA basketball, the man had to wear an ankle monitor. It was like a 30-day sentence or something like that.
Hey, we said AI needs to talk to
right.
KCP that might be the guy. That might be the guy, but he's married, he's matured, he's got a ring, and he gets in where he fits in, and he knows his role, and that's like the beauty of his time in the NBA. Yeah, you trade him to the Washington Wizards, and he was like, somebody wants me. They see my value. And the Nuggets come in and get him. And I was like, that's like the greatest offseason acquisition right there because he's got a ring. He's played under LeBron and he knows his role wherever he goes. 3-point shooting, cuts, fucking quick down to the other end of the floor every time. So like he knows where he fits in. And he went off that game. He had like 21 points. Like that's going to be the guy that's going to beat you is him.
Yeah.
But I mean, LeBron, and I agree with you. Whole feel out game for them. But I also agree with Jamal, man. Like Jokic doesn't miss. Jokic barely has a bad night. And as sloppy as he looks and as like, he's like that dude when you're playing a pickup game that's just like balling, but he doesn't look like he's in a ball. He's just like tall and gross and like probably really sweaty and probably smells, but like he's just pounding down low and fucking, making buckets down low, no problem, grabbing rebounds. Just a bear, basically. So it's like, that's how I see the guy. And he's also very entertaining. Like, I cannot not hate him either. Yeah. Like, he's just very fun. Like, you saw when Anthony Davis looked at him, he was just like, that was literally his thing. Like, yeah, I made that at half court. I did that. So
he's a funny dude.
They're going to be a tough team to beat. They're a 1 seed for a reason, but like you said, Lakers have the number 1 defense in the playoffs this year. LeBron is like, you can say how old he is, but LeBron can turn that switch on. AD, as long as I don't see him grab that ankle or he's like, or they're putting him in a wheelchair and taking him out. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing? What do we do? As long as AD can stay healthy, the Lakers have a chance. If AD goes down, like, that's it. Dunzo. Get rid of it.
But this is my thing, right? So let me ask you 2 questions real quick. Would you say that this Nuggets team is better now or the 2020 bubble team that faced the Lakers?
They're better now.
They better now, right?
Is healthy. Well, Michael Porter Jr. is healthy.
That was
KCP went from the Lakers to down. So addition for the subtraction of the Lakers.
Right.
I do like Bruce Brown off the bench. that kid Christian Braun from where do you go, Kansas, something like that, or Kentucky?
Yeah,
he's nice,
Kansas.
bro. He's nice. They got good vets on the team. Jeff Green. They don't even play Thomas Bryant.
I love Jeff.
Remember, Thomas Bryant was dominant for the Lakers this season early on. Reggie Jackson's on the team. They don't even play him. Like they got a squad. They really do have a very deep team. I think if they lose game 2, then they're in trouble. I think if the Lakers lose game 2, I think Denver can actually I think they, because I wasn't a believer before, and then you have to watch them. I seen what they did to Phoenix. I was like, damn, they did Phoenix like that. So they're a lot better than I thought. And if the Lakers mess around and lose game 2, then we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem.
The more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
About to find out. Jokic's not for real. Jokic is good, but
I respect his game.
I respect his game. Like I didn't know you had that in you, sir. I respect the game, but
and really quick, he wears high top sneakers, and I love that for him as a big man. Shoot them threes, wear them high top sneakers. You ain't no point guard. Go.
That's why he was able to play. How many he played like 77 games this season. I don't know.
Can I get one more in?
Yeah.
Yo, so I looked this up. Their 2020 playoff bubble run, right? This is the Nuggets score. 114, they lost to the Lakers. Game 2, 103, they lost to the Lakers again. Game 3, they finally won, 114. Game 4, they lost, they put up 108. Game 5, they lost, they put up 107. I'm trying to tell y'all, the fact that they put up 132 last night, I don't know if the Lakers cracked the code, man. Like, the fact that they didn't even get a buck 20 last time they played them shows this is a completely different team.
Yeah, I mean, you look at their whole playoff run, 125, 118, 129, 121, 125. Yeah, they putting up buckets. They're a well-oiled machine.
All healthy. Everybody is healthy on that team now, as opposed to the bubble. The bubble, it was the Jamal Murray overshadowing how good Jokic was because he was having a crazy good bubble run.
Yeah,
like Jokic was good. Jamal Murray was taking the shine away from Jokic. Michael Porter was injured, I think. Aaron Gordon wasn't there, and I don't remember who else was on that team. But that entire team is now healthy, and you have, like you said, we preach all the time, get the right vets. Like Jeff Green knows his role. Jeff Green is like a C+ Kevin Durant, like literally a C+ Kevin Durant. He just wants to hoop. Doesn't want to be the face of the franchise. Just wants to hoop. That's all he wants to do.
And he gonna come in and get you a solid 8 to 10 any night.
Important ones too.
Exactly.
Like they like third quarter points when you need to stop a run or whatever. Like he gets those.
Yeah, always right. Always important points. Yep.
He definitely gets those. So I was trying to see, but anyway, before we get to like Boston and Miami, as we are speaking right now, Boston is up by 2 entering the second quarter. I do want to touch on, A-Rod is a Knicks fan. I'm a 76ers fan. So obviously both of us got kicked out of the playoffs. Mine was very embarrassing. Maybe not so much as for A-Rod, but they were tearing down, Julius Randle's little sign and everything.
New Yorkers are fucking whack.
So obviously we know my dog Doc Rivers got fired. James Harden is not picking up his options, so he's a free agent.
Oh, that's official.
That's official. Yeah, he's going to be a free agent. He's trying to get the most money he can get and then retire. So yeah, that's why he can go back to Houston.
Dag. I was really thinking if he came back with Maxey and they try to get one more piece, they can make a run. But I guess it's a wrap.
Basketball got that about
that.
I don't like his work ethic. I love James Harden as a player. He's like, love him as a player. But I just don't like his work ethics, man. Like, you have to go to the strip club to fucking like free yourself. And Doc's like,
Dennis Rodman did.
I'm about to say now, look, if he won, if they beat this.
No, you're right. If they won, nobody would have said nothing.
If you beat the Celtics, we're all praising. Yeah. Hey, man,
Shout out to the
nothing.
hey, shout out to those girls that he blessed because they made him play better. Like seriously. I don't know.
And we didn't know the Dennis, like we said, we didn't know that Dennis Rodman story until the Michael Jordan shit on the Chicago.
Even if we didn't see that, we knew he was.
And since
Dennis Rodman was outside.
Oh, we did.
Michael Jordan was outside. He was out smoking cigars, playing 18 holes of golf, and then going to the casino the night before a game.
Tipping shitty on his bills whenever he went out to eat.
We all then dropped 45.
But at the same time, exactly. But at the same time, ever since that came out, all these NBA players have been like, I want to do this. I want to do that.
I ain't heard nobody else say that.
I love James Harden, but like it's been like this with him for me. Like he's a headache. He's a headache, and you can get somebody better on that team.
I think he should have stayed in Brooklyn, man. He tried to force himself out, and it didn't work for him, man.
I'm happy though, because I was trying to get rid of Ben Simmons by any means. The dude Ben Simmons had the nerve to post a Game 7 picture of the score of Boston versus Sixers. Like, bro, you haven't even played basketball in like 3 years. You quit on the Sixers. You've already quit on Brooklyn. Like, you have a lot of nerve to say whatever you're trying to say. But
and the best part is the media wanted to play that into it too. Like, who the fuck is Ben Simmons right now? He has no value for his trophy.
Calm down, bro.
You couldn't even get exactly.
So Jamaal,
Andre Jordan for him.
Between the Knicks and the Sixers, between his Knicks and my Sixers, who do you think is in the most trouble heading into next season?
Oh, for sure, Philly. For sure, Philly. You give Bronson another year to lead the troops. I love Thibodeau's defense. I think Julius Randle, he'll bounce back. But with y'all or with Philly, I'm concerned off the strength of I just think there's a window. I think you look at the NFL, you look at the NBA, there's always a 5-6 year window to get your team in a playoff mix and then to be able to deliver, right? I mean, the Raptors was the only ones I can remember the last 10 years, and that was really just they had a run. They had Kawhi. They had KD get injured. Like, they had everything go their way. But everybody else was really coming off a run. The Spurs when they was doing it. The Cavs with LeBron. The Warriors. So for me, with y'all, it's like with the Sixers the last 2 years, I was expecting at least a conference finals last year. And I was expecting when they had won Game 5 at Boston, I'm like, oh, it's different now. Yeah. Oh, it's different. It's different. They got the pieces. They got the pieces. They about to at least go to the conference finals, right? And when they lost last Thursday, I was like, I don't know, man. This is either going to be the beginning of a new era for them, or it's definitely the end. Or my thing was, if James Harden would have stayed, I still would have think they had a chance to make some noise. But anyway, point of the story is when y'all lost the way you did, it was like, yeah, this is the end of that era.
Night. Yeah, like, I mean, obviously as a fan, so I was watching that game after walking around Busch Gardens for like hours. I'm hot, sweating, don't feel good. But I'm still at Busch Gardens, right? So I go into like a little bar in Busch Gardens, and I'll start watching it from the second half. It was a 3-point game. You know, like I was scared to watch the first half. I'm like, I'm gonna sit down. I would just, instead of following on my phone, I'm gonna just sit and watch. I mean, it was a 3-point game, and by the time I looked down, drink my water, put it back down, take a sip of my little red wine, and look back up, we was already down 10. And Jason Tatum was, I mean, I've seen Kobe Bryant do some things, man. This was Kobe Bryant-esque. It was like, bro, the basket was so big for him. He was shooting a rock into an ocean. Like, it was too easy. And when you get hot like that, I mean, you shake them. Like we saw it with Clay, we saw it with Donovan Mitchell. You know, we've seen it with Steph Curry. Like, when these guys go get 70 points, Devin Booker, you go get 70 points, there's nothing you can do. Kobe with the 81. There was no defense that was going to stop Jason Tatum on Sunday. So, you know, if we lost to a better team, we should have won the series when we were up in Game 6. In the fourth quarter with 3 minutes to go, we had the lead. Tatum wasn't doing nothing, and they all let Tatum go crazy in the fourth quarter, and then he carried that over into Game 7, and that's why it all went haywire. So, yeah, man, you got to shake their hand. They were a better team. Now, as far as fear, yeah, I'm not fearful, but I said it on Sunday. Like, well, why people are like, oh, why are you so depressed? I'm like, because the window's officially closed. That's exactly what I said. It's like this was the year. If any, I mean, Milwaukee's already out. I think we would have had a good chance against Miami, even though, Jimmy Butler is amazing. I think we would have had a good chance against Miami. And then just getting to the NBA Finals would be an accomplishment where you can build off of that success. The window to me is closed. Harden's gone. Now, I like to freeze up Maxey. And I feel like, we just, we're going to get a new coach, obviously, right? We have new ownership there. So, like, they want to bring their guys in, right? We're going to get a new coach. There's decent coaches out there right now. I'm not too crazy about Mike Budenholzer. I've never been that crazy about him. But he did turn his team into a championship contender. But I think he outcoaches his own self sometimes. Nick Nurse, just, a couple other guys that are out there. But there's going to be a new vision. I've always said Doc Rivers is a very good, who's a good regular season quarterback or something like that. Like, real good.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Literally. That is exactly the parallel. He's a pretty good coach during the regular season. But think about it. We're living off of the laurels of one Super Bowl from Aaron Rodgers that was 13 years ago. And we're living off the laurels of one NBA Finals championship for Doc Rivers, which was 15 years ago. So it's like, what have they done in the postseason? Like, when he was with the Clippers, they were making it to the playoffs. They go up 3-1, they lose. When they have playoff P in the bubble, they lose. The Sixers, we can't even get past the second round. Last year, he had Embiid in the game while we're up by 20 points with 3 minutes to go. He gets smacked in the face, and now his face is all messed up. He can't see, and that literally cost us the next series. He doesn't make the adjustments when adjustments need to be made. Like, he's a rah, like, come on, guys, let's go. But he's not X's and O's. Like, that, any three of us could have coached that Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce team. Rondo was basically coaching that team. Like, Rondo was
Celtics. And Celtics fans will tell you Thibodeau won that championship, not Doc Rivers.
On top of that, because he was he was like the defensive assistant coach. Like, and KG won a defensive player of the year. That to me was not Doc Rivers. And so to me, I haven't seen him accomplish anything that I can be like, all right, he's a good coach. So to me, it was supposed to happen, honestly. But A-Rod, from a Knicks perspective, what do you have to look forward to?
I'm just gonna agree with y'all and say Philly's in more trouble than us. From a Knicks standpoint, oh man, it's gonna be an interesting offseason. What I took away from the playoff run was fuck Donovan Mitchell. We don't need him. I'm happy with that we beat his ass in the first round. That got me so hyped. That made me a Knicks fan once again, because that was the test. That was really my playoff right there. Was, do we let Donovan Mitchell beat us, or do we go out first round and it's the same shit over and over for me again? But there's a few things for me. One, they got to get a shooter. They have got to get a shooter. And the sad part is we have shooters on the team. My team just went super cold. They went cold in that series against the Heat. And Jimmy Butler, there's two guys in the NBA that can get, I say it all the time, there's LeBron and there's Jimmy Butler. Those are the only two guys in the NBA that can get trash around them to produce. Like, guys you've never heard, guys that are undrafted, guys that are like Austin Reeves, that you don't think he's going to do good, and then all of a sudden, boom, Austin Reeves becomes a baller. LeBron turns these guys into stuff. Jimmy Butler makes Max Strus that good, but he also gets in your head. He's a wizard. I don't know how he does it, but he gets in your head. And I'm over the Knicks fans dogging Julius Randle, because Julius Randle got you here, okay? Julius Randle played a majority of games, okay? Julius Randle was a third-team All-Pro, okay? Julius Randle also went down in an unfortunate time with an ankle injury and thugged it out the entire time. Jalen Brunson, he's just a little bit younger. He could thug it out a little bit better. And it sucks. I'm not making excuses. We lost Emmanuel quickly too. We lost to a better team. We totally went cold. And when oh my God, when Obi Toppin shooting 11 threes, like I just like Aaron Judge put 0 for 59, like how many at-bats he won his rookie season and struck out or whatever it was. I'm putting that 4 for 11 on my wall for Obi Toppin next time I watch him in a playoff run. Like, there's no reason for that boy to be shooting three. So we got to get a shooter to complement this team. We got to worry about what's going on with Randall. Like, do we trade him? Do we keep him? I think he's fine, but I think New York may not be the market for him. I think New Yorkers are very, very hard on him. And I'll come out and say it. I love the guy. I wear his jersey all the time. I'm buying a Brunson jersey for sure. But I love Julius Randle, and I love what he does to this team. And we didn't lose because of Julius Randle. We lost because of stupid shots. We lost because of poor transition. And we lost because of going cold in the game. Like, we went fucking ice cold.
Got to worry about Butler.
Jimmy Butler's a wizard. And we got to worry about signing Josh Hart. Like, Josh Hart's made it vocal that he wants to stay in New York.
He's a free agent?
Yeah, we signed him. We picked up his contract. It was a 1 year.
Philly need to go get that.
Yeah, he might want to go there, but I think he likes playing. He's already said, like, I want to stay in New York. And like, him and Brunson are boys, you know that. And then the other thing is, what's the dude? What's going on in Utah? What's that guy?
Who? Oh,
guy.
Windhorse?
What's going on? Huh?
Windhorse?
Windhorse, yeah. He had another one of those, you heard. What's going on in Milwaukee? Pay attention to what's going on in Milwaukee.
Giannis,
there's a lot of stuff going on there. There's no head coach. Middleton's a free agent. Brook Lopez, free agent.
What you trying to say?
If this team gets this, I mean, I think Giannis is a loyal player. I think Giannis is a loyal player. I think he will die in Milwaukee. I think he will stay. But if these pieces leave that are part of this championship team, I mean, Jay Crowder made it vocal. I don't know what I was brought here for.
Oof.
Like, I'd send Jay Crowder packing, bro. Like, Jay Crowder is like a bad taste in my mouth. He's good, but you can get better.
Yeah.
Pay attention. Pay attention to that. Like, Giannis may want to go to a bigger market. Giannis is marketable. Giannis is a marketable player.
He's doing it in Milwaukee straight. He don't need a bigger market.
Hey, man.
Look what Tim Duncan did in San Antonio. Like, you don't need a big market. When you got it, you got it.
Let's not crown the king yet. Okay. Let's just pay attention to what's going on in Milwaukee. Because I am. And if we can get Giannis, you will never hear the end of me.
You sound like a Knicks fan again. You sound like a Knicks fan again. If we can get Zion, if we can get LeBron, if we can get Kyrie.
I never said that. You know me. Don't think that I'm that person. Okay. I knew we weren't going to get Donovan Mitchell. I told you that shit.
So what makes you we're not get Giannis Antetokounmpo just because Windhorse did this bullshit? I'm sorry, bro.
I'm not. I'm just saying pay attention because he could be a name to be moved. Maybe he goes to Philly. Maybe he goes to Miami. Never know. Something could before he goes to New York. Whatever, bro. I'm just saying pay attention. And if just let me have my moment. You said what? I said pay attention. I didn't say we're getting these guys. I'm not saying that.
Talking crazy right now. I'm sorry, man.
Bro, the motherfucker said what's going on in Utah.
Just because those clickbait people from ESPN always thinking like people want to watch their stuff. Stephen A. Smith yelling at the TV all the time.
By the way, you'll be happy to hear this. I have a vendetta against Stephen A. I'm over Stephen A. now. Can't stand him no more.
Welcome to the club, man.
Yeah, welcome, brother.
Welcome, man. We've been waiting for you.
This is a man who thought that we thought the same and we're the same type of New York Knicks fans, but I've never seen a person so down, so just, oh God. Don't go to the Garden, Stephen A. Do us all a favor. And Spike Lee, you should probably do the same too.
You can't tell me. You can't tell President Spike.
Yeah.
Spike gotta go. Spike's a bad omen. Spike get up and do this. toss his ass out, man. You got to go.
Spike
tee him up
deserves
and throw
to
him
see them get one, like, now, right? He deserves it,
He
man.
deserves it.
He's long
He
overdue.
deserves
But but see, once again, Philly's window has ended, and New York has begun.
Has it though?
Never.
It's cracked open a little bit.
Not
the window's open. I
like them to make the conference finals next year if they can keep Hart, some other pieces, but they still need one more. They still need one more.
Y'all need to go get, what's his name? Chris Middleton.
You know who should get him? You know who'd be a good get for him? And we've been saying this all
Orlando.
along? Yes, perfect. Perfect spot for him. But
am I wrong? Huh?
I tell you where he goes, and they compete for a championship if he goes there.
Where?
The Miami Heat.
Oh.
Miami
they don't need no more
everything.
help. They're like, Miami's good. They're good basketball.
Bro, they had to play the play-in game. They're not that. They've had a great playoff, bro. But
let me explain Miami to you. Let me explain Miami to you. Jimmy Butler
Please do it.
Be doing like low management throughout the season. You don't even realize. He just does it his own way. So, but watch his game pick up March 26th every year. He just picks it up. By April, he's Michael Jordan's son. Like, by April, I'm telling you, I don't know what he does, but he gets it. Like, he just gets it. And once he knows he got you down, he's got you down. Like, he beat the Minnesota Timberwolves starting five with practice squad players. I mean, come on.
And then did an interview.
Ran home to do an interview with Rachel Nichols in the middle of practice. Let's
also not forget he started off the season with long ass thick dreads too.
Hold on. Harry brought.
Yo, I'm not happy about that.
Yeah, I was not.
I keep seeing that picture all the time, and it just bothers me.
Yo,
it bothers me so much.
Ever since he took the hair out, the flare out, you know what I mean?
Hey, Jimmy Butler, but yeah. The Knicks are gonna be fine. I mean, we our window might be closing, but I know Dame might be wanting to be on the move now. Maybe we go get Dame. You know what I'm saying? I would love Dame in Philly.
Dame in Philly would be perfect. Dame in Philly would be perfect. Get rid of Harden, but then it's like who you got to give up and the other future picks.
We'll probably have to give up Maxey. There's no way they'll let us get him without getting Maxey.
But you need Maxey.
I need Maxey. Maxey's my favorite Sixer. So
he's the truth, man. I'm telling you, he's the truth.
But what went wrong was that as we transitioned into the series, is that we let Jimmy Butler go from the Sixers to Miami and on Tobias Harris's behalf, basically, because the money could have gone to either one of them, and they gave it to Tobias, and then they gave it to Ben Simmons, and then Embiid obviously got his contract, which he deserves. But to me, that's going to go down as one of the worst decisions in the history of our franchise. Miami's in the conference finals for the third time in 4 years. Like they've been to an NBA finals back in 2020, and they're in their third conference finals in 4 years. And this is the third time in 4 years that they're going against the Boston Celtics. So there's a little bit, it's crazy. Like 10 years prior, it was LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh versus KG, Ray Allen, and Pierce. And then you transition 10 years later. Same thing. You got Tatum, Brown, and whomever you want to put as a third for that. And then over there you got Jimmy Butler. You got Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. And it's really crazy to see them like back again, like an 8. The fact that they were an 8 seed, we already thought they were going to lose to Milwaukee in the first round. They've been playing with house money ever since because they knocked off the big dog from the East. So after that, like the confidence is through the roof. And I look back at game one of the Knicks series, and Jimmy Butler, has like a bad ankle injury. And when I figured that New York couldn't even adjust to like attack him with a dude that is not even barely, they were playing 5-on-4, and New York couldn't make any minor adjustment to attack Jimmy Butler. I already knew Jimmy Butler won that series because the mind games that he plays, like he really be messing with these people's heads. And Boston is a team that to me, they're obviously a fantastic team, and when they're on, they're on. But Boston's the type of team that if they're very like sensitive to me, like they don't really got that to me. Like Marcus Smart, he talks a lot, and he's the heart of that locker room. But to me, like they don't really have that thing. And I think when they had Udoka there, like Udoka was like a grown up. Obviously, he couldn't keep it in his pants, but he's like a tough guy, right? To me, I look at Mazzulla and like Mazzulla is like 34. He's an offensive coach. He don't really know how to answer questions. Like I don't really feel it with him. So I feel like you take on the identity of your coach. Udoka was tough minded, defensive minded. And they had one of the top. Jason Tatum locked up Kevin Durant last year, and then this year it's like they kind of lax a little bit on defense. They make a lot of boneheaded plays. When they lost 3 games to Orlando, like they be just doing weird things. So they are susceptible to lose this series, but I think what we allowed Jason Tatum to do to us in Game 7 and the end of Game 6, we've awoken up. Like he's finally like mature now. I feel like he got beat in the finals last year, and that's something that he probably needed. You got to go through that disappointment first. I think he's kind of headed in that direction again, like letting the team down, losing to Philly, and something is woken up in him. And I think he's on when Devin Booker and Jason Tatum got to the league, I've been saying it every single year since they've both been in the league. I'm like, there go your 2 Kobe's right there. Like to me, their offensive repertoire and their mind to me, like like just the way they look offensively, their smoothness in their game. I'm like, look, Devin Booker and Jason Tatum are competing to be this era generation of Kobe. Maybe not as great as titles and all that stuff, but just offensive weapon that you can't do anything with. Like there's nothing you can do to stop them. We've seen Devin Booker do it this postseason. He had 1 bad game, obviously, but he was balling this postseason. And now you're seeing it with Jason Tatum. So as great as Jimmy Butler is, I just don't think they have the depth to keep up with Boston. Obviously, there's no Tyler Hero. There's no Victor Oladipo. And that poor man, I just pray for him all the time. But there's no Oladipo. And now you're relying on Strus and Duncan Robinson.
They
And
show up.
they will show up. But there's one thing, no offense, there's one thing beating the New York Knicks. There's another thing beating Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the team that was just in the NBA Finals, arguably the top, probably a little bit better than Milwaukee this year. Like they're an amazing basketball team. So it's a completely new set of rules that they're playing with right now. So I think Boston's up by 10 right now in the second quarter. Again, and I'm not saying that it's going to be an easy series because it wasn't easy last year. They took him 7 last year too. So it won't be easy. Jimmy Butler is that good, but he don't have enough. Now, we didn't think he had enough help last year and he couldn't get through. He ain't got that much help now. Like, that team is depleted. I like what they like. The twin Caleb, what's his name? Caleb, whatever his name is. Who?
Caleb Martin.
Martin, yeah. I like his game. I think Vince has been playing well too. Bam hasn't made that next step that I thought he would by now. He hasn't made that next step. So they got the pieces, but they need to go get like a Giannis or Chris Middleton, and then they will be unstoppable. Like literally, they will be unstoppable. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go Boston. If I had to make a prediction, I'll say Boston is 7. I think it still goes 7. I'll go Boston to 7. What y'all got? You go ahead, Jamaal.
I would love to see the Heat do it. Really would love to see Jimmy. Actually, can I express this for a second?
Please.
Bro, I'm telling you, just watch this. Watch this the next 10 years, the next 20 years. I think for a long time, the Celtics is cursed. And I don't mean like they've always been cursed. I'm talking about Isaiah Thomas went through what he went through while they was in the playoffs. That following offseason, they got rid of him. They got greedy. They went to go try to get Kyrie. They made it to the conference finals without Kyrie, brought Kyrie back. We already know the story since. They still haven't won a shit, but they got close. I just think for a while, they're going to really fall short. Just for some reason. That's my feeling, right? Call me crazy, but just pay attention to it. Like, bro, you can't have your star player, the heart and soul of the team. He's in the MVP race that year. On the last year of his contract, right? Going into that offseason. He just played for you while his sister got murdered.
Yeah.
Murdered, bro. If you're going to trade him, you got to at least trade him halfway through the season. The fact that they did that and they were thinking, okay, this is going to get us to the next level. I just think, especially if they don't do it this year, it's a wrap because Jalen's out. Jalen's out.
Yeah,
Jalen's out.
Feel,
no way
he ain't coming back.
He's not coming back.
He wants his own team now.
He said, I want to go somewhere. He said, I want to go somewhere where I want to be one. He tired of hearing that every year in trade rumors. But basically, so what I'm saying is I would love the Heat to do it. But I do think the Celtics take it in 7, like you said. But it don't matter because, like I said, I feel like they cursed. I feel like they are not going to get that championship for a while off the strength of that decision.
That was great. A-Rod, you know I'm superstitious, bro. Like, I never thought about that.
I've thought about it ever since the moment I watched that video of Isaiah Thomas crying, saying they gave up on me. I was like, the Celtics fucked up here big time. And when they did that for Kyrie, I was like, it makes sense. It's Kyrie Irving. But then when he came out there and said, I'm coming back, I'm resigning, I was like, there's no loyalty in this man. None whatsoever. I don't know why. And Kyrie, Isaiah got Carmelo Anthony, man. He got Carmelo Anthony, and it wasn't because of talent, it was because of size. But like you said, he was in the MVP vote that year. He was
in
up
the MVP race, man.
He was that's so crazy. I never even thought about it. I don't know why I never thought about that.
I never thought of it like that as bad karma, but I always thought that was probably the most awkward, most fucked up thing I've ever seen an NBA team do to a person. Like you said, he went through a lot that year and put his heart on the line. I remember he got dunked on by LeBron in the playoffs and all that shit. But other than that, like, dude went through a lot that year. He went through so much. And for you to just be like, that's a business move. Dude, I agree with you. They're cursed.
Bro, your star player's sister got killed.
Heat in 7. I'm saying it now. Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler.
Crazy.
Jimmy Butler lives rent-free in my mind after this series, man. Like I'm wondering to myself, like, what is Jimmy doing right now? He is a schemer. He's a schemer, bro, and he's gonna win somehow. And if it's in the bubble, selling coffee for $20 and shit like that, dude's a schemer. He's gonna win. Heat in 7. Heat in 7.
I'm still tripping over this, man. Like, for real, like I don't know why that's never crossed my mind. That's the most accurate thing I've ever heard. It's been rocky ever since. Like, it's been super rocky ever since.
Bro, I knew when they played the Warriors last year, I was like, yeah, they're not winning this series. Like, you got to at least get 7 years away removed from that before, all right, you've served your sentence.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, right.
That's a perfect transition into the Warriors shit. Let's talk about that.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean,
perfect
damn.
transition.
So, they obviously, in the West, they weren't fighting the West either. But Phoenix went out. They got rid of Monty Williams, and that's a whole thing. What I've been telling you about DeAndre Ayton, I told you DeAndre Ayton ain't trying to be there. He's bad for that team right now. Now James Harden's even considering going there. To me, Phoenix got their own thing going on. But you go up a little north to the Bay, and the Warriors, they finally admitted that punch from August carried on throughout the whole season. They were like 9-31 on the road in a regular. I mean, I'm a defending champion with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, this new budding star Jordan Poole. Like, you 9-31 on the road. Like, I knew there was no way they could make it another finals run, in my opinion, this year, because you can't not bring your game on the road in the playoffs. Like, you're gonna have to win a game on the road at some point. And to me, For Steve Kerr to say that, Draymond Green to agree that has something to do with it too. Jordan Poole, they asked him a question like, are you and Draymond straight? He's like, we're teammates and we're like a business partner, something like that. So to me, we're talking about windows closing, right? Is the window closed for Golden State?
I don't think so.
I
think they just didn't. I just don't think they addressed it the right way.
Yeah,
I think they let that shit linger, and even Draymond said on his podcast, he's like, I could have been a bigger man because he's like, I run so many departments on this team. Instead, I wanted to be like, oh, we're gonna figure it out as we go. And he's like, by August, if you don't have this shit right, then it's gonna stink the whole time. So if anything, I agree with what Draymond said. He should have came in right when that incident happened and been like, my bad. It was really foolish of me. I'm so sorry, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Squash that shit. Be a bigger man because this team has just won a championship. It has championship written all over. You have a budding star in Jordan Poole. You have good guidance from a Steph Curry, from a Klay Thompson, from a Draymond Green, even Andre Iguodala before he retired. You've got that good guidance with that team as opposed to Ja Morant, who has nobody over there. So you have the perfect tutelage, the perfect core to do this with still. They still getting it done. But if that shit would have been like bitten in the ass immediately, I think we would have had a different result with stuff. But
you don't think the window's closed?
Oh, absolutely not, man. Steph can go off. I just don't think Game 6 Klay is a thing anymore. I think we'll get like maybe Game 1 or Game 2 Klays.
But that's how they've been winning series. They need a Game 6 Klay.
No, they win series because Steph Curry is a wizard and they're good at defense, and they've also been that kind of team that's been very pesky. If the pesky guys are starting them, they didn't. And also they didn't have Andrew Wiggins a lot for the year too with a lot of shit that he was going through.
They don't change nothing.
Yeah, don't say that. You say that now. You say that now, but I told you all last year, and he was balling in the playoffs, and he's the reason they won that championship too. A big reason why. So
let's not count Boston's cursed. I'm convinced. So there we go. I'm already past that.
Jamaal, you are a regular on the podcast now. We're going to bring you in as the third person now because you made him a believer now because of that. He'll never agree with me when Andrew Wiggins is a good player. Andrew Wiggins is the kind of player that knows his role in a championship caliber team. It's the big three with the supporting act of Andrew Wiggins who can go off and have good games. So I don't think they're cursed. I don't think there's anything wrong with that team. Just maybe they had too much youth this year that they're accustomed to having as opposed to veterans on that team. So we'll see what happens.
What you think, Jamaal? You think that window's still open?
It started with the king and it ends with the king.
I'll always say that. Always say that.
That is exactly. There you go.
Started with the king. Listen, man. If there's two things I'm telling you to watch for the next rest of the decade, the Warriors and the Celtics, can't see them getting back to a finals. Obviously, my fault. The Celtics could easily, obviously, make the finals this year. I don't think the Celtics will win a ring. But the Warriors, man. Will they be always top 4, top 5 in the West? Absolutely. Steve Kerr is still a great coach? Absolutely. Will they still have, deep playoff runs? Past the second round, they're the new Sixers. I don't see them going past the second round.
Klay Thompson, 33. Steph Curry, 35. Draymond Green, 33.
Hold on. Klay is how old?
33.
And this year you could see the injuries, I feel like, catching up to him, right?
Yeah.
So him being 33, it's like, I don't know, man. Like I said, I think it started with LeBron. Look, one of the most unseen runs ever, right? Like even when they went to the finals that year. And I really believe if Kyrie and Kevin Love don't get hurt, LeBron wins that. And who knows if KD.
I agree.
So I think it was only right it ended with Bron because, like I said, it started with him, man. You know.
That age to me, and I think Draymond, like they don't want to say it out loud, but they've been trying to find a reason for them to trade Draymond Green. or it just they want to move off of him, but he ain't gonna let that happen. Like he's not going to let it happen. He's going to make sure that he is there. I think he doesn't really care to be anywhere else. I don't think Draymond will fit on any other team right now. Maybe Miami, because they know how to be figuring stuff out like that. But to me, Draymond and this team are supposed to be with this team, and that's it. So I think they ride together and they die together. I think the age gonna catch up. I don't think Jordan Poole's that good. I don't think Jordan Poole's really that good, to be honest with you. He's Monte Ellis, and Monte Ellis and Steph Curry didn't work the first time. And what makes you think it's gonna work now? So I think Jordan Poole, we talk about another 23-year-old. I mean, he does it out in the playoffs. Like he did nothing game 3, 4, and then 6. So I think, and then Kuminga, he hasn't really made a leap. Andrew Wiggins, I don't really feel him like that. Moody, I don't really feel him like that. Who else? Who else they got? Oh, what's his name talking stuff in the corner? He put a cap or whatever on LeBron flopping or whatever. I don't.
Peyton? Whatever their names are.
I think in the West, you still got Phoenix. You got Jokic for a long time with Jamal Murray in that team. We're about to see what happens with our next topic, Mr. Victor Wembanyama. How do I say that? Wembanyama. San Antonio might become something in the next 2 or 3 years. So I think Golden State's window is probably a little closed. There's a crease because Golden State be getting lucky on those finals runs because people get hurt all the time. I swear, every time they're in the playoffs, someone gets hurt in the series and they just make it past them. So to me, unless somebody's getting hurt, I think the window is probably a little closed. But you have anything to add, A-Rod?
I was just gonna say I feel like it's starting to come to an end for sure, based on age and things like that. But when I heard that Draymond podcast and what he said, I agree with him. I think he was very immature about handling it the whole year. It was a different side of Draymond that I wouldn't expect to see, but also I would expect to see at the same time. So window is coming to an end. I'll agree there. I don't think it has, though, because you tried to write them off last year and they won that ship. And I told you, don't count them out. Don't count.
They got lucky. Boston should have won that series. Like, for real. Boston had no business losing that series.
They should have, but they didn't.
But Mr. Isaiah Thomas. Damn, man. They did my dog dirty.
They did. They did him dirty. But
so this is the next Boston Red Sox? 100 years?
Oh, they trying to moneyball it. They're fucking up too. And they can keep fucking up for all I care. Let them keep fucking it up.
We're talking about
you got all that money.
I'm talking about the curse of the Red Sox. Maybe they didn't win for 100 years like the Cubs. Or was it 86 years, whatever?
Can. It's the Isaiah Thomas curse, which y'all
the curse up. Of the Bambino. All right. I heard Adrian Wojnarowski crazy ass say that Victor Wembanyama may be the greatest prospect in team sports history. Have they lost their damn mind? Has he lost his mind, or am I seeing something different? Like, I don't know, but obviously San Antonio won the draft lottery, and the guy on stage was like, yes, like he might. Oh, I thought he was going to like cry or something. He was
as he should.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Whoever the other anonymous guy that was there was like how childish and they get all this. Fuck you, hater.
No, this is a pride. But you know how much? You got to think. Even if he doesn't win a ring, right, in like the next 5 years, do you know how much money he's going to generate by having this dude on his team? There's going to be more workers now because they're going to need more people for concessions. Like when Cleveland left, when LeBron left Cleveland, like they went into like a depression in Cleveland because they lost so much money when
economically, right?
He came back.
Pressure pulled out.
He came back and they were right back on top. So having a generational quote unquote talent on your team, you're going to sell out every game. Season tickets are probably a lot higher than they were yesterday. So people are going to be buying that. You're going to have
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be on ESPN a lot more. You're going to be on TNT a lot more. So all that revenue that you're generating, San Antonio just, leveled up, right? Obviously, I think they were the worst team last year. So I'm not saying that Victor's going to come in and turn them around right away. But the way people are talking about him, Jamaal, I'll start with you. How much of the hype is he worth of it? And what do you think is going to be next for him in the San Antonio Spurs?
I definitely feel like he is worth the hype. With that height, that type of handle, pulling up the way he's pulling up. I mean, you look at the impact the face of the Nuggets guy, the face of the Bucks guy. I think he is now the face of the Spurs. Obviously, he's going to be the face of the Spurs, and I don't expect an MVP, or how about this? I don't expect an MVP or a championship maybe within those first 4 to 5 years, but I do expect the Spurs to not miss the playoffs while he's there, and that would validate the hype. But Woj saying he's the greatest prospect. Listen, man, I mean, we might feel like that's hype, but in reality, hey, like, have we ever seen somebody coming in the way he's coming in? I don't remember somebody.
Raymond James.
LeBron
James.
Didn't
even have social media back then. The whole world knew who he was when he was 16.
But
with no social media.
No, man.
Dick Vitale was at his games, calling his game. My boy was on ESPN. Like he made ESPN start showing high school basketball games during college hours, generating hella money.
No, for sure.
Sonny Vaccaro was following this man around since he was a sophomore in high school. Like that to me, and he's American homegrown. And so like it's like I can ask like 10 people in like out of a room of 100. You know who Victor Wembanyama is? Like, nah. But if you ask those 10 people back then, do you know who LeBron James took over the world quickly. So, to be picked as the person that's supposed to be the next Jordan, like that's some big shoes to fill.
No, you're right.
So to me, and if he had social media back then, oof, boy, like we know Victor Wembanyama because he's on Instagram, and then he came to a little G League game last year, and that's why. Outside of that, LeBron's what they put on LeBron's head, Shaq too. I remember Shaq. If you watch film about like what they did with Shaq and like when he was coming to the league, like he was talk about unicorn. Like he was already Giannis before as a rookie, as a college player. He was already doing what Giannis is doing now. So yeah,
but yeah, man.
Are you not concerned about injuries? Why? Why not?
Here's my biggest takeaway. Is the biggest hype I've ever seen. There's been 3 hypes I've seen. I've seen LeBron James hype. I was just coming out of middle school, going to high school for that shit. It was crazy watching that. Him and Carmelo Anthony, but LeBron overshadowed that so much. Peyton Manning was another big one that I just remember blowing up all the time. And Steven Strasburg when he was drafted by the Nationals. Yeah, that dude, true. Every time you turn on TV, it was K. He's striking out like 20 guys in a game. I was like, damn, this dude's insane. He's gonna be something. But this guy, yeah, of course, they've been paying attention to hyping up because this is our first like big overseas guy. And it's what the NBA loves. A big with handles and can shoot threes. That's what the NBA loves because everyone is trying to, it's like everybody's like trying to copy, everything that happens. And it has a good formula. And exactly. And they just see this as a 7'5" Giannis. That's what they see. And when Giannis came in the league, he had no muscle mass whatsoever. So that's the only thing I see this kid has to do. He has to put on muscle mass because fuck. I mean, is French ball, is it competitive as it really is? Like the Chinese league or
it's not as
Spain
competitive league? As like their La Liga. Like they got a Real Madrid and the Barcelona. Like that's that league China? That's competitive. The French league is still pretty good though. It's not. It's better than I think it's better than China's too. Because China, they just score. All they do, bro. What's his name? What's that dude who used to play for USF? Oh my god, he got drafted by the Mavericks. Dante. God damn.
Whatever. Don't worry about it.
He's averaging a triple-double over there, and they gave him International Player of the Year in China. And he came from USF, so.
Okay. So anybody can make it in China.
Hey, you know what? We need to get more players doing that.
I agree.
If you can't make the league, go over there.
Look what Marbury did.
Exactly. Stephon Marbury is an island. I love that guy.
He's God over there.
Bro, he's right?
I love him.
He's their Kobe.
And they got the greatest recruiter right now in fucking Dwight Howard right now. Come on over. That was actually going to be my background. It's the whole Taiwan team. I put a little thing.
Yeah. That was funny.
But muscle mass is a thing with that kid. And that's something that if you have a world-class organization, they're going to get you to that. And I think overseas, that's something that they really don't look into. They look at more of your pure and physical strengths as a shooter, being fundamental,
super fundamentals.
Yeah. They don't worry about that. When they get to NBA, they want you strong, because you're gonna have to go down low against a Bam Adebayo. You're gonna have to go down low against a Jokic. You're gonna have to go down low against Joel Embiid. You're gonna have to be like at the top of the key, and they want you to shoot these threes, and that's why they like them. 7'5" Giannis. I mean, I wouldn't say that this is the most hype I've ever seen somebody coming in. This is the most hyped foreign guy that I've seen coming in. That's going to be first overall. Maybe Yao Ming might be the second one, because I remember when Yao was coming in, they were like, "Oh my God, this guy's Chinese and he's 7'3". He's bigger than Shaq." And I was like,
"Yeah, that was the big one."
That was a big one too. But that dude, I mean, he was just solid down low. He wasn't like flashy or anything like that. The most boringest game, but he'll average 20 and 10 a night.
Yep.
He wasn't shooting threes. He was just a tree down low. That's all he was. He wasn't Jokic. He wasn't shooting threes. He wasn't passing the ball like crazy. But this kid possesses all of that. And I think he's going to be living up to the hype. I think he's going to be that kid. I think greatness is on the horizon. It's just up to the Spurs at this point to put that team around him. And with the young core that they got, I like it.
What's the young core? Because I'm looking at their roster. Man, it's nothing to be impressed about.
That Sochin kid that they got last year.
He's an energy guy.
He's an energy guy and defensive guy. You're going to need one of those on your team.
Can't shoot.
Neither could Dennis Rodman. Okay, defense, guys, defense, pure defense.
And I agree. I think they got some solid pieces, especially like defenders.
Keldon Johnson, I like.
Keldon Johnson, that guy Hassel or whatever. Vessel. He's also another decent one. But I think they need to get like veterans there, like another like Chris Middleton would be a good guy to get there. Or
I can see that I would like. Yo, they only have one player on their team making more than $10 million. That's crazy. In this NBA, and it's Deontay Graham making 11 mil. That is wild. So they don't have no.
That was a trade to clear up. That was a trade to clear up cap space and bring him in too.
Exactly. So, man, this team.
They might have planned this, man. They might have planned this.
Yeah. Of course, bro.
When they made that trade with the Hawks.
You didn't feel like there was like you know how like Patrick Ewing ended up in New York? You know that was some some underground dealings and stuff like that.
New York loves him for that still.
I think we all knew San Antonio was we knew, because I just felt like there's no way that Adam Silver is not gonna let this French dude go to San Antonio where Tony Parker made France like love the Spurs already. And then David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and now you get to your next guy. Like, to me, it felt a little weird. Like, of course they're gonna get him. You saw? Hey, did y'all see when he cheered when he didn't go to the Rockets?
I saw that.
I was so I was blown. I was like, wow, this dude, he gets it already.
Happy though, because that dude that I told you the Rockets got, that Turkish dude, I told you he's a baller.
Sanguine.
I told you he's gonna be good. He's gonna be solid, man. I like him a lot.
All right, so before we move on to football, just to kind of wrap this up with Wembanyama, what is his ceiling in your opinion?
I'll tackle that, A-Rod.
Fuck, I don't know. I want to. the best place he could be going to is under Pop's tutelage. I think that's like one of the best places you can go.
Pop's also 75. He ain't gonna be doing this forever.
But Pop also hasn't had a complete team either. I think Pop is the right guy for it. If Pop has the right
He's also 75 and ran Kawhi Leonard out of town.
Kawhi Leonard rode his own ass out of town. He didn't want to be there.
But you know what? If Kawhi stayed, bro, sometimes things happen for a reason. If Kawhi stayed, there's no way they would be where they're at now to get Victor. So
because they'd be in the NBA Finals.
I don't know, man. Would they? I don't know, man.
No.
I don't think they would have stopped the Warriors, and they definitely wasn't going to beat.
They was about to until Zaza Pachulia stepped on his let this man step on his ankle. They were 23 at that point.
I really forgot about that, bro. Damn, that was game one.
Game one. Yo, Kawhi went. There was not. They could not see that man.
That is. Man, the
could
Warriors
not see that man.
Oh, the Warriors. That's what I'm. Certain things meant to happen, bro. The Warriors that really found like.
Look, bro. You know why? You know, people talk about the script, right? You know that tech money in Oakland, in San Francisco is big money, right? And I felt like this was like a transition into like, yo, we not blow up that market. Like, bro, Chamillionaire is like a rich dude, like for real rich, and it has nothing to do with riding dirty. It's because all the stuff he invested in
right, yeah, real talk, in
that tech world. So to me, now that we're in this AI world and tech and all that, I feel like they just needed the city to be flourishing. So, you know, things do happen for a reason. The script is playing out how it's supposed to. LeBron gonna get ring number 5, and then we gonna keep it moving. All right. Before we end the show, obviously you Cowboys fan, unfortunately, right? Is that correct? Yeah, yeah.
Come on, man.
Anyway, so a lot has happened this offseason. For y'all, I don't know what's going on with Zeke. Dak Prescott is loved. Is he still not loved? I don't know what's going on. But y'all did well in the draft. Y'all did pretty decent with free agency. Y'all lost some good players too. But what's your biggest takeaways from the offseason in general? Maybe not just the Cowboys, and then the draft as well.
Oh man, great question. So the biggest takeaway from the draft is Houston's building. Houston is building. I'm telling you, I watch a lot of football, and the teams that be so-called trash, I'll keep up with their games too, just to see what's going on. Mm-hmm. Man, they had a lot of close games last year. They took the Chiefs to overtime. Even the Eagles on the primetime Thursday
night.
Yeah, Cooks didn't play. Like, the team held it until that fourth quarter, right, to the Super Bowl runner-up. So, but what they did in the draft, grabbing Stroud, let them just chill for a year. Now, this is what I hope they don't do. I hope they don't do the whole new NFL formula, just get him out there right away. Yo, he's got to learn. This ain't Ohio State. Receivers just ain't going to be mad open. But I like them. Then being able to trade back in, getting big man, like, huge, bro. Huge. So they were able to take advantage of those draft picks to get what they need on the offense and defense. But for my Cowboys, I'm not a delusional Cowboys fan. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, we didn't draft a quarterback, so we still gonna go where we've been going. We'll win a lot of games just to fold first or second round. But I will say this, though. You gotta really watch this. Dan Quinn has had 2 seasons in a row where he's got head coaching calls. Mm-hmm. And he denied it because he's working with Micah. He knows what's going on, bro. He's got a generational talent. And so for us to still have Diggs and then to bring in Gilmore, which one you want to do? Gilmore obviously don't got it like he used to, but he's a veteran. He still can show up in certain situations. So now if you want to throw at Diggs, okay, we got a playmaker. So I will just say, from a takeaway, me being a fan of the Cowboys, that defense already was legit. Mm-hmm. And now I feel like that could be that extra piece. Let's not forget, when the Cowboys lost to the Niners both years in a row, it came down to the fourth quarter. So, You know what I mean? Like, that was huge. But I think overall, the team that I think nobody is really hyping up, right? The Bills, man. The Bills. The Bills. I really believe what they was able to add on the offensive end in the draft and just in general, them not really losing any key pieces. Like, let's be clear, man. The Chiefs lost a couple pieces, right? Everyone just thinks you could throw everyone out there with Pat, but the Chiefs lost a couple pieces. And I do just think, I don't know how much I trust Cincy to keep making a deep run in the playoffs, right? So I'm telling you right now, I think Buffalo being able, they didn't make the splashy moves. They didn't draw the headlines with the trades, but they kept the team together, man. So, yeah, Buffalo.
How do you have any fear of my Philadelphia Eagles? Just be honest. Like, just you obviously you saw what we did in the draft in the offseason. And I know we probably looking for a linebacker, and I keep hearing that we try to go get Miles Jack. So I'm liking what I'm hearing from Howie Roseman. What is your level of fear for your division rival, Philadelphia Eagles? If any, of course.
Say that. What's my fear?
Yeah, level of fear.
Level of fear? A 4.
Okay.
I mean, listen,
4
man.
out of 5?
Y'all, we respect the one ring y'all was able to get.
Okay.
And but I don't know, man. Like, listen, bro.
Y'all had a great
playoff schedule. Daniel Jones, and who was the Niners quarterback?
I don't know which one of the 6.
Right. So but on some real though, I do believe y'all win the division. I do believe you're number 1 or number 2 conference. You'll finish number 1 or number 2 in the conference. But I'm not about to tell you that I think y'all going back to another bowl. So
I don't think so. I think
but seriously though, 1 through 10 or 4. I think y'all overachieve / give credit where it's due. Y'all were the truth on offense. Like, and Jalen had one. I don't care what nobody says. I'm talking about even Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. That to me was a top 5 pure performance. Oh, what about the pick 6? I don't care about nothing, man. Like, we talking about, there's a reason why they gave him the bag this summer. And it wasn't just because he got them to the bowl. If he would have even had a stale or a little less of a game, I think they wait a year. They say, Jalen, play on the rookie contract. We'll take care of you. But after seeing that, it was like, oh, nah. We locking him.
We got one.
We lock. Yeah. We're tripping. Like, we're tripping if we don't do this now. Especially the money Joe's about to get.
Yo, Joe about to get paid.
Listen, bro. If Joe want to win a championship, he got to take less bread. Somebody got to take the Tom Brady route one of these days, bro.
He said it. He said he's thinking about his teammates while he's working out his deal. So he seems to be that type. Like, when he went from Ohio State to LSU, with all that talent that was over there, and that he had to wait his turn. I think the camaraderie that he was able to build with LSU and the friendship that he still had in Ohio State, you could tell that players love him, and they will do whatever for him. And that's the same vibe I get from Jalen Hurts. Like, obviously, as Eagles, I can see it like a more close hand. Like, they will run through a wall for Jalen Hurts. And I think Joe Burrow's got that in him. Like, the dude gets sacked 70 times, gets right back up, and he's still throwing touchdowns. He still almost got into the Super Bowl again. So
I think they fall off though.
I thought they were going to fall off last year. I think we're all waiting for them to fall off.
Right.
I do think Joe Burrow is just that damn good, and you got him and Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. So
their offense still nasty. But I'm telling you, that Bates move though. The safety they lost to the Falcons.
Yeah. And that's my offseason team that I've been very closely watching. The Falcons, boy, if they get a quarterback, boy, that team is good. Like, for real, we don't know it yet because they're not going to be able to show that with Desmond Ridder. All right. They're not going to be able to show how
good. You don't believe in Desmond?
They got a generational, we using that word too much, but they got themselves a potential generational running back. Kyle Pitts, your boy, fell off a little bit last year. He did. But I think the offense would just cater more towards the run game. And now you got the best running back in the draft. You got Cordell Patterson still. Homeboy rushed for 1,000 yards last year. What's his name?
Algier, whatever.
Algier, Tyler Algier. He ran for 1,000 last year. Like, so they got their running game is going to be ridiculous, which is going to make life easier for Drake London, your USC boy, and Kyle Pitts. Their offensive line got a little bit better. The defense got better. Like, the NFC South is anybody's for the taking. I mean, literally, the Saints are not that great. Even with Derek Carr, they're not that great. The Bucks, come on now. And the Panthers, you know how much I love Bryce Young. I think they put a pretty good team around him, but he's still a rookie.
You believe in them? You don't believe they? I got a question for both of y'all.
Yeah.
You don't believe they gave up way too damn much to grab him?
Who though? Carolina? Yeah, they probably did because they didn't.
You gotta build. You gotta build.
Because Carolina.
Where's your draft picks the next 2 years?
Carolina was picking 8, right? Or something like that.
8 or 9.
8 or 9. So, I mean,
the draft will make you do things, bro.
If you've identified somebody, but think about it, and it happens. Like the San Francisco 49ers gave up the whole world to go get Trey Lance, and he may not even be on the team to start the season.
But I don't, bro. That troubles me that you're willing to give up that much for a prospect. Give up that much for a proven player. Like, we need to listen, the Rams, that is the formula.
Yeah.
We have the team that's making a deep playoff run. Let's go get a proven, experienced quarterback. The Niners could have saved those picks and got Aaron or somebody else and been in the mix right now. But you got Lance, who is he even their starter next year with Brock out?
Nah, bro.
I said Lance.
Yeah, it's a funny situation, but we'll see.
Hyped. Y'all got me hyped.
I know. Hey, A-Rod, just put your little bow on that
boat. I'm in that boat right now. We did that. We did that. So like I'm in that boat.
Oh yeah, because they got Aaron Rodgers.
We got Aaron Rodgers, so it's like go. We needed a quarterback. The Jets could have made the playoffs.
Great move.
Could have made the playoffs. Oh, I wanted Lamar. Then I thought to myself, I was like, we're gonna have to give up 3 rounds of first round picks. We're gonna have to pay this man on top of that. The whole thing could change. I was like, we have the tools to be a passing team. The type of team that I hate, but this is the type of team we're gonna be, passing. And I'd have been happy with Carr. Carr, we just got to pay. But get the guy that's at least one shot.
I don't know, bro. With Carr, y'all wouldn't have.
It would have been
made no noise.
Tell you, their car is not. Sorry,
I know, but look at it from a business point. All we had to do was pay Carr. That's all we had to do. We could pay him for 1-2 years, whatever.
First round exit.
Right. You paying for a first round.
But you're talking. No. Yeah, laugh all you want. But we're talking about building a team. We have to give a first round pick next year now for Aaron Rodgers, and we have
it's totally worth it.
Well, I mean,
is he gonna play next year?
Season hasn't started.
Season has one season, and then he goes.
Oh man, this is a new era. I'm telling you, Aaron's gonna embrace this.
I know. Aaron already has been embracing it, and I like what I see from Aaron. KK just likes to prey on my downfall as a Jets fan. And
bro, I'm giving I gotta give you the real. I'm here to provide the real. Listen, Aaron Rodgers is a dude that he can literally retire after this season. He will not bat an eye. So, and you know that about him. You do know that about him. He's gone into the last 4. He said he was 90% going to retire until he went into his dark retreat. Somebody said that 90% gonna retire.
I come out of this looking this way at Aaron. Aaron and the Green Bay Packers that don't have an owner have been going back and forth with demands like children. It's been tug of war. Aaron versus the entire organization. I need receivers. They draft a quarterback. I need an extension. We forget about Devontae Adams. There's been no love for whatever any of these guys want. So I feel like here we got a clean slate. We got Sauce Gardner, who's been just cheering this man on. I'll burn the cheese head. Come here. I'll put you as my avatar background. Aaron gives his demands. They've gotten everything except OBJ. Everything but OBJ. And they said, you know what? We got a young Garrett Wilson. who can potentially be that. He can be him. So I like the move. I'm not scared of it anymore. I'm buying the goddamn jersey, unlike Sammy, who hasn't bought that fucking Rashford jersey yet. Buy the damn jersey. Like, I'm buying that jersey. I'm buying like 4 jerseys this year. I'm being an annoying Jets fan.
Hey, Rob,
but
man, I'm a little
I hope they're
troubled,
good.
man. Your organization has not been very well ran over the last 50 years.
It hasn't. It has.
So what makes you think
don't do this to me?
that
Don't do
one
this to me.
guy is going to come in and change it? It's
Don't
not
do
like
this to me.
All right, my bad.
Don't do this to me. Don't do this because you do this. You do this purposely to me all the time. You get me to look differently about it, and then you're like, "Oh, what did Joe Douglas do for y'all? Y'all gotta praise Joe Douglas because you know where Joe Douglas went. You know where Joe Douglas came from, Jamal? The Eagles. The Eagles. So I have to give him some praise there.
Yeah, of course, bro. He gave y'all, bro. He's giving y'all a chance.
He give Vinny Curry. He gets like a sack. Oh,
he's giving y'all a chance, bro. Like, that's all you need to know. He's giving y'all a chance.
This team, yes, I will agree with you. It has been poorly managed. It has been poorly put together over the last few years. We've done some questionable head coach hirings. We've done some questionable GM moves. I wasn't on board with this dude, but like this is his Lich moment right now. This is his Lich moment. But I think as opposed to the Bucks GM, where we say Tom Brady called that motherfucker, he didn't call Tom Brady. He called Aaron. He called the Green Bay Packers. He called everybody in the town of Green Bay and was like, who do I got to talk to get Aaron Rodgers here? Because I know there ain't nobody that owns this team. So we did the work, and I've never been more hyped to be a Jets fan right now because I've been saying it not for so long. Since I saw the team last year, quarterback away. If you would have took away. I'm not comparing this to the Rams at all, not whatsoever. That Rams team, all they needed was a quarterback, and I agree with what Jamal says. You go get the things that you need, and if it's a well-seasoned veteran quarterback that can win, you get the right one. And this team has it right now. Everything offense looks complete to me. I hope if there's anything I pray, you said to be afraid of the Bills. If there's anything I pray is the same thing you said about the Celtics earlier with Isaiah Thomas. Dude, Devin Singletary single-handedly would run that ball up and down the field for the Bills year in after year just for Josh Allen to punch it in. And they got rid of his ass this year. I hope that's the karma that bites him in the ass.
Are we comparing Devin Singletary to Isaiah Thomas?
Oh, see, now you might have just opened the curse on your jet.
You got your karma goggles on right now.
Yeah, bites the Bills in the ass. Let me be a fan of my team because you know damn well I named this team or this podcast, the Fairweather Podcast, because I'm wearing a Jets jersey and I'm burning a Knicks jersey in that barrel in the logo that we have because I got to bring people down to earth on this team. This is the first time I feel like confident in this
Y'all
team.
Y'all got to play against Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lawrence, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson.
Hey, I'm telling y'all, don't sleep
on AFC. Ain't no joke. Now, this is not the NFC. Think about it. Tom Brady did it in the NFC because it was easy. Matt Stafford did it in the NFC because it was easy. So. Hey, this is some competition over here in the AFC now.
To quote the least liked man in the NBA right now, and put my own twist on it, I'm fine in the East right now. Right. Let it come.
All right.
Okay with it.
You say he's fine in the NFC. All right. We're gonna just end it there because I can't talk about the Jets for that long. Jamal, what you got going on? Where can people find you? Just tell the world what's going on in your life.
We was on some spiritual progression hibernation mode. I still popped up March Madness, worked that event for CBS this year. That was amazing. Was able to interview a couple players from that Furman upset. Did a taekwondo jiu-jitsu tournament after that, so that was a whole new experience. But I've been really just in the lab, just really trying to get my spiritual growth on. But my point is, though, I will be releasing a Mall report this weekend. Me and my boy from up top, he just moved out here from Delaware. We're about to start being in the works, putting together our own podcast too. So, man, Mall report on YouTube and IG. But listen, man, I'm really loving what y'all doing, bro. I mean, going strong. It's like very comfortable just to come on the show. Y'all ask great questions. But it's a balance. It's like I feel like I'm watching something on CBS Sports, but I feel like I'm just at the barbershop too. So I asked Jerome about y'all this week, and that's why I reached out. I wasn't even really thinking about getting on the show. I just really wanted to see how everything was going, what y'all doing. So I would love to see
I
y'all
just
keep
felt it in my
tapping in.
spirit. I'm like, he need to be on the show. So
Hey, and listen, anytime I could get back on, please let me know. So yeah, man. But I'm loving what y'all doing, man. I really think y'all should keep exploring where y'all could take this, bro.
Yeah,
seriously.
for sure. All right, A-Rod, where can they find us?
You can find us on Twitter at fair_weather_pod. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Search the Fairweather Podcast. And you can find us wherever you subscribe or listen to the podcast. The audio will be there. Words of wisdom, take it away.
But I got two things. Miami is good, man. Like, for real. Miami is a very good basketball team. And then just for Ja, like, just want to kind of one more, like, like look at it like a big brother, little brother. Like, you need to just check yourself. Like for real, like, I know you're young and all that stuff, but when you have a daughter, that you got to grow up quick. Like, you saw how Kobe's life completely became something else when he got a daughter. I think John needs to like really like look himself in the mirror. Your parents see you on TV doing this, even though they might not be the thing that's helping him out. I feel like, we should use this all as a teaching moment for our youth, and our youth needs guidance. So, whatever it is that we got to do, help out somebody that's younger than you, and just make sure that, we're instilling the right things in our youth, because like you said, the music, they're following the wrong things, social media. So let's all use like this job situation as like the youth are our future, and we need to make sure that they solid, because it's starting to head in a direction that I'm not too happy with. So I'll leave it there. Fly Eagles fly.
Don't listen to be a young boy.
Adios.